My name is Alison Mills. I'm the corporate senior manager at the corporate office in Montgomery. I've worked for Seraaj for almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years in a couple of months. My position here as the corporate senior manager, I prepare the monthly financial statements, do the tax returns for the payroll tax and the unemployment tax. I do all the bank reconciliations. I manage and supervise accounts payable, payroll, and accounts receivable. I was hired to be just an accounting clerk, and then I moved to finance director and then corporate senior manager here. How I came to work here, it's kind of a long story. The company I was currently working for previously to coming here, the two partners decided that they couldn't get along anymore and they were going to dissolve. So I have a degree from Auburn University in Montgomery in finance and a degree from Troy in accounting. So I sent my resume to every single CPA firm in the city of Montgomery. And I got a call. And I went in to interview, and after she interviewed me, she told me, she said, "I'm not really hiring for myself." She said, "But I have a client that's looking," and it was Ginger Strickland, who used to be the CPA firm for Seraaj. So immediately, she sends me over to Linda Pauline and Glenda Thomas for an interview, and I had no idea what the company was, what they did. I personally thought they were home builders, to be honest with you, because I had not had time to research, because I didn't know I was coming. And I was interviewed and hired that week. So when I came to work here, we have really grown since in the 20 years that I've been here. We've branched out to other states and different programs. I do remember when I first came to work here, our accounting software was a small little can package off the shelves type deal, and it was not big enough to hold all the information that we had. So we had basically individual companies set up in each one, and then had an overall company that we had to move all the information to, because it just wouldn't hold it. And this was just incredible that we ever got that done. So we have grown a lot in technology, and it's been amazing to see the growth of it, but I don't know that I've contributed any more than anyone else in this company. It's a teamwork effort. We work as a family. Most of the jobs I had before were, you clock in, you do your work, you go home. All right, well, Seraaj is a little different, as we are 24/7, and that is fine, but we are extremely flexible. And that is one thing that Mr. Seraaj has iterated from day one is, family focus, family focus, family focus. And it's not just the families of the foster parents or the children and their families, it's the employees' families too. So if you have an emergency, you need to be out, you go, you take care of your business, and your team, we're all like a family. They'll pitch in to help and do whatever needs to be done, personal or work-wise. It's just really amazing. And when I first started working here, I had just gotten married, like 2 months before I started working here. No kids, and now got an 18-year-old, and so you really don't really appreciate it, I guess, until you start having children, because school's closed. What do? Do you take off work? And of course, no, you just bring them on in with you, it's fine. And then with aging parents, having to deal with sickness of your parents and having to take care of them, it's very flexible. Yes, it's very much appreciated. You don't find that a whole lot of places. People in my field, we go into our field, we're not necessarily technically people persons. We would assume just to be in our little closet working with our numbers and being away from everyone, but here you kind of get drug out of that. We do a lot of teamwork together and collaboration, and you're not allowed just to sit in your office and do your thing and then go home. And I remember several years ago, this is way back when, and we were supposed to cross-train, and everybody did trainings, and it was really good. But a lot of people were nervous about it and all this, and Mr. Seraaj was like, "Everyone's going to Toastmasters. We're going to learn to speak in front of people and come out of our shell." And so just that. like I said, not really people person, and would just be happy working in my cave and alone and doing the things. But collaboration and teamwork you learn a lot of patience. You learn you learn to listen and to give and to compromise, and that's good. What I've learned about myself while working here, wow, that I actually can do teamwork, I guess, and I'm still working on the patience part. That's a long-term goal. You know, here at the corporate office, we don't see the children as often as, of course, they do in the other regions, but we do see some because the Montgomery region is located in our building. But yes, I mean, mainly when auditing files and stuff, you read their history without even seeing them. You read their story, and it's just heartbreaking. So, you know, you're auditing the files, you're reading the stories, and you're heartbroken. And then during our meetings weekly, when we talk about the children and their well-being, you hear an accomplishment and you're just cheering right along with them, and you're like, yes, that's awesome. And you know, some of the cases that we've come through here is just heart-wrenching, absolutely just devastating. And during this time that I've been here, I've raised my child. And I remember one day, I wouldn't let her go somewhere. She wanted to go with a friend of hers that I did not know their parents, and they were going out of state. And she was friends with the little girl who had a brother, and I knew their mother. The mother and father were divorced, and they were going to go with the daddy. And I never knew him, don't know him, you know, and I told her she couldn't go. I mean, no. And she's like, why? And I'm thinking about all these stories, you know, that I've read here and I've done. And she told me one day, she said, I wish you never worked there because you're so controlling now. You're like a helicopter parent. And I'm really not. I'm like, no, I'm not. But now that she's older, she understands and sees that, because, you know, it's just, but it does change you. You see it, you read it, it's heartbreaking. But we've had a lot of good accomplishments, and those, it's all worth it. Yeah.
Well, how do you decompress when you get home?
Oh, wow. It's actually more hectic when I get home. I come to work to actually have some downtime. You go home and it's, you know, the kid and the homework and the cooking, the cleaning, the walk the dog, and then the husband's home and it's, you know, bath, laundry, and my me time is after they've all gone to bed, which is like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I usually stay up to about 1 or 2 and I'll watch a movie or read a book or something. But that's my me time. But yeah, you gotta have it. Oh, I like to read CIA action, murder mystery type stuff. If I had an unlimited budget, probably wouldn't change a whole lot, to be honest with you. I'm very frugal. I gotta look out for the money. That is my job. We have an electronic files for our children and our foster parents. But as far as the accounting system goes, it's another CAM program, and I would love to see it more web-based and interactive. And there's one out there, but I just can't see paying that kind of money for it. But it would save us a lot of time and a lot of errors, because we do a lot of hand keying right now. But I don't know, a legacy. Wow. I don't know. Wow. Wow. Just what people would remember? Oh, wow. I guess just that I was hardworking and dedicated and loyal, and, you know, we work whenever we have to work and need to work and get the deadlines done, and just honest, and, you know.
Is there anything you would like to say to Mr. or Mrs. Seraaj?
Oh, wow. I guess just thanks for giving me a chance and sticking with me all these years. And we really appreciate the family atmosphere and the flexibility that we have here. It's really incredible. I mean, you can't say enough about that.